New Inferno Dragon evolution, which for the first time is actually balanced. Let's take a look and see which evolutions are the best in the game. And yes, that's right, this is arguably the first balanced evolution that they've released this year. Inferno Dragon, how it works is it charges like normal, but when it gets to its max stage, it keeps it for 9 seconds. And it will retain it forever if it keeps on attacking more units. So it will be at max power the whole time. And it's stopped if it is zapped, like with the E-Wiz or Evo Zap, whatever, or if it hasn't hit a target for 9 seconds. Which inherently is a great evolution concept, and it's not broken, but it's not the best thing in the world. We'll probably throw it in A tier. Some people who play certain win conditions will probably say it's S tier, like if you play Golem, Goblin Giant, whatever, because you get countered by Inferno Dragon, so you probably will have some bias. Evo Cannon again remains a good evolution. We're throwing in A tier. The nerf to the cannon's damage radius was honestly justified, and it put the Evo Cannon in a good position, but not the most broken evolution in the game. Some would argue it is too good. In top ladder, Evo Cannon has an 11% usage rate, and the ability itself is a good bailout, so I would definitely use it if you can. Evo Snowball, I would always retain that Evo Snowball is one of the most underrated evolutions in the game. Some people say it is really bad. I don't think so. It works with certain decks like Drill, but it's very situational, and that's why I'm only throwing it in B tier. High B tier, of course, because Evo Snowball, it could definitely clutch up in a couple different situations, but then again, it could be really, really useless a lot of times. And if you don't know how to use it right, well, it's just not going to work out. Evo Archers have consistently only been used by Expo. I'm only really throwing it in like lower B tier just because arrows did get nerfed like 3-4 months ago, and that's kind of been helping the Evo Archers just a tiny bit, thrown in that B, C tier range, because Evo Archers, they're very limited only to Expo, really. Now, to be fair, Expo is getting used a little more. It's a bit friendlier to Expo in some situations, but probably just leave it in this tier anyways. Evo Wizard is going in crap Evo again. Evo Wizard is getting buffed. It doesn't make it the best evolution in the game. Absolutely not. The shield damage is getting a little bit of a bump. Max C tier, because Evo Wizard, it's only been used by A, mid-ladder people, and B, people who don't know what they're doing, because Evo Wizard is pretty bad. I think they did give it out for free one time, and that's why it does even have a usage rate to begin with. It's like the lowest of C tier evolutions, at least. Not in a great position whatsoever, and it might even need another buff, but we don't want it because Evo Wizard's annoying. To use Evo Wizard, you have to cycle through regular Wizard, and regular Wizard sucks, so that's pretty much the whole point about this ranking. Goblin Barrel has always been used in log bait, and it's probably how it should be. Log bait is pretty exclusive to Goblin Barrel, and we're probably just gonna throw in A tier because it could still get a lot of good damage. The Evil Barrel's in a good spot with log bait. I mean, like literally every bait deck uses Evil Barrel, and if you have a tank of the bridge, the fake barrel can do insane damage on the tower. That can always be really annoying against the opponent. Evil Firecracker has always remained a good evolution. There was a point where Evil Firecracker was arguably like B, C tier, just because arrows was meta and also it was pretty weak in general. Nowadays, I play Evil Firecracker myself on it all. It's a good evolution, very useful. Evil Firecracker is arguably the most annoying evolution in the game. Evil E-Dragon. So E-Golem has been kind of meta in the recent days. Evil E-Dragon, however, is still a good evolution. Not anywhere near what it once was when it first came out, most broken S tier, whatever it is. However, I will say the Evil E-Dragon does have its place in a lot of beatdown decks, and it can be really devastating against certain people, because certain people either A, don't know how to counter it, and B, they just have cards that are like grouped together and stuff like that, and they struggle. Good evolution. Evo Mortar has been pretty good. Obviously used in Mortar decks. Mortar is definitely one of those win conditions that is used consistently throughout the seasons. Has a 4% usage rate in top ladder, that's fine. But it is so annoying. Like, so many people get countered by it, and so many people have a struggle with the goblin that spawns from the Evil Mortar. It's annoying, and we can all agree on that. Evo Executioner, I'm probably still going to throw in S tier, simply because the Evo Executioner hasn't gotten nerfed recently. I'm surprised. It has been 3 months since the Executioner's release, and it hasn't gotten nerfed yet. To be fair, it was an S tier when it came out, and it probably still is an S tier now, maybe in a little lower position, maybe because of just some shifts in the meta, but the only real direct way to change rankings is by a balance change. And this Executioner probably needs a balance change. The extra damage it does, and the pushback is really good for 5 elixir. Executioner isn't bad himself. I think it's time for a nerf, in my opinion. I get countered by Executioner evolution. Royal Giant is going in A tier. Royal Giant has been meta, and it is a strong one. The only reason it's going in A tier right now is because of the supporting cards. Monk, Evo Hunter, Fisherman. They are the cards that are propping this Evo RG up, and they're allowing it to be in a good position. People are saying, oh, this deck is powerful, and it is. Evo RG with Evo Hunter and Fisherman, it is really good, and it probably should get nerfed, either the RG itself or the supporting cards. Royal Giant has a strong evolution, and it does counter a lot of people's decks. Like, Expo players always complain about RG, and they will never stop until the card is deleted, of course. Evo Bomber is going in C tier again. Evo Bomber has seen some light usage in drill decks with the Evo Snowball, but other than that, not too much. much. There are some like Giant Prince decks, some old Giant Prince decks that people still use that might have Evil Bomber. I'm not sure exactly. I don't play those decks. Evil Bomber itself isn't a good evolution. It's gotten nerfed so many times that it's been rendered pretty much useless in a lot of different scenarios that it was really good. Has around a 3% usage rate in Ultimate Champion. That's pretty devastating. Not the worst in the world, but it could definitely be better. That's what C tier is for. Evil Lumberjack is going in B tier. Now that it's 2 cycles, not the best position right now. When it was 1 cycle and when it could be rage infinitely, of course, S tier, broken evolution. And the balancing team, which is actually just one guy, has decided that Evil Lumberjack does not belong in S tier anymore, and that's a good thing. They did a good job of nerfing it. Now you can see it occasionally with Lumberloon, whatever it is, and that's really all it should be. None of the Giant Prince, whatever. We hate Giant Prince. We loathe Giant Prince over here. Evo Drill is going in crap Evo again for the 2nd time. Once again, Evolution Drill has a 0% usage rate in top ladder, and it is the only evolution in top ladder with a 0% usage rate. That's pretty bad. Now that Evo Wizard is propped up, it's definitely going to be like this until it's buffed. And I say this as a drill player myself. Evo Drill needs a buff because it is the worst evolution in the game. Full stop. Evo Witch is getting nerfed, but it is not enough. I think Evo Witch is going in S tier again, probably top of the spot too. The healing is getting nerfed by 12%, takes it down to 64 heals per skeleton, whatever it's called. The concept of the evolution itself is still there, and it is still very strong. It's not like Evo PEKKA where they nerfed the healing to the ground, so the concept just doesn't make sense anymore. Evo Witch is still gonna be used a lot because the healing is still there. I think they should just completely delete the healing, maybe make it spawn Evo skeletons, something less erratic, because Evil Witch can survive a lot of scenarios where she shouldn't survive, and that's really the main reason why Evil Valkyrie is so good right now, is because of the Evil Witch. I'm throwing Evil Mega Knight in high B tier. I don't have respect for the Evil Mega Knight. The only reason I'm throwing it in high B tier as opposed to middle B tier like last time is that the Evil Mega Knight does lightly counter Evil Witch, and with the pushback, all that fun stuff, Evil Witch does get countered by Evil Mega Knight, and so that's a solid thing. I mean, we're bringing the Evil Witch down. Then again, we can all agree Evil Mega Knight is slightly annoying, so we'd rather not see it in a high position. That's fine as long as it isn't getting buffed. If you have Evil Mega Knight, just use him, man. Admit it, you're a mid-ladder menace. It's fine. Evo Ice Spirit is getting nerfed again. Its splash damage is getting taken down again. To be fair, it is the most used evolution in the game. There was no stopping it, but no one will call you necessarily boosted just for using Evo Ice Spirit. That's why it's not really an S tier. It is a good evolution, but now, not so much. The Evil Ice Spirit is getting targeted, and that's very unfortunate because I like the Evil Ice Spirit. It's a good concept. The Spirit has gotten a lot of nerfs recently. I'm surprised less people haven't been using him. I guess it counters RG, and that's why it's in A tier. We'll probably take a little higher, but it's fine, whatever. Evo Zap is going in B tier again. Evo Zap is consistently not been good. It only has 2 zaps, and that's the same situation with the Evil Ice Spirit. Not in the best position. It used to be a good evolution. Best evolution in the game. It used to be when it first came out. Nowadays, not so much. Evo Knight, we're throwing in middle higher B tier. Evil Knight has been a little bit down recently ever since the Evil Witch, because it kind of does get countered by the Evil Witch. In fact, we'll probably throw a little down here on B tier. Evil Knight has slowly gotten weaker and weaker. Its last balance change was a while ago, so that's fine. They found a balance position for the Evil Knight, and that's good, because in a broken state, it's really bad, because the Evil Knight tanks a lot of damage when it's moving. I've seen a little bit more Evil Tesla. I don't know if that's just me. We'll probably throw it in middle upper B tier. Evil Tesla is annoying, and we all know that. I remember when it first came out, it was actually a really not good evolution. Then it got buffed. It was a really good evolution. Then it got nerfed, and for the longest time, it sucked. No one used him. Now, it's kind of back. The meta has shifted, and there's been a balance change in the last couple months that allowed the Evil Tesla to see some usage in Expo, of course, and other decks. However, I would not want to see another Evil Tesla meta. We can all agree on that. It sucks to face, and we all don't like it. Evo recruits are again going in middle lower A tier. Evo recruits have an interesting situation. Reportedly, the head of balancing apparently, this is just reportedly, uses recruits himself. Maybe that's why he's keeping Evo Drill in crap Evo, because, you know, Evo Drill counters recruits. Only time will tell, but Evo recruits have been in a solid position, and they really do wreck a lot of matchups like Expo and like log base, some situations. It's really bad, but then again, it's kind of matchup dependent. Like, I counter recruits most of the time efficiently, because I have Marcher and Goblin Gang, Valkyrie, all that fun stuff. Evil Skeletons, we're again throwing in middle lower B tier. The Skeletons, ever since they were 3 skeletons, now they're 4. haven't been the same. It is a lot more difficult to extract value out from the Evo skeletons now than it was before. And it's been in this position for the longest time, maybe S tier a couple times, maybe when it first came out. But the evolved skeletons are just a solid evolution. I'll see them sometimes. I keep on saying we don't want another meta with this evolution. Well, we don't want a meta with just one evolution. We want a balanced meta. That is the goal. What would be the great equilibrium is if we had all the evolutions had an equal usage rate, but that's pretty much impossible. You have to do like live, like weekly balance changes. It would be really annoying to keep up with. We don't want a meta with a 20% usage rate evolution, and there are a couple evolutions sitting here with 0% usage rate in top ladder. Goblin Giant has been seeing a lot more usage with PEKKA decks. PEKKA Goblin Giant is back. Not in the full swing that it was before, but that's why it's probably not going in S tier. Last time I actually threw it in C tier because Goblin Giant just wasn't being used like at all. I'm definitely not throwing it down there. Probably upper B tier. Goblin Giant hasn't been changed at all, but it's been boosted by the fact that it's in a really good deck with PEKKA. Not a single thing has happened to it other than the changes to the meta. That's how powerful they can be. It probably shouldn't get nerfed though to maintain balance. We should probably just nerf like supporting cards and stuff like that. I put PEKKA in lower B tier last time. I'll probably keep it around the same place as Goblin Giant. Again, no changes to the PEKKA, but it's been used a little more. It's just how the world works, you know, it shifts. And the healing the PEKKA has is probably the most balanced it ever was. And when it encounters like Swarm, it doesn't heal as much, and that's probably how it should be. The evil Wallbreakers have seen a little bit more light ever since recent balance changes. We have seen a new mini Wallbreakers resurgence, but it hasn't lasted too long because evil Wallbreakers have gone down just a tiny bit. They do well against recruits sometimes, and that's pretty good. And the main thing holding it up is the fact that it does damage to units around them if you get through the first stage. And that's a good thing. They can defend themselves, and that was one of the main weak points of Wallbreakers in general as a concept. Evil Barbarians are not good. This is just a fact, and it has been like this for 2 years. They can't seem to balance change. It's like they forgot about the signature first evolution in the game. It is sat in C and D tier. No one has done anything about it. Only used in Lava Hound decks. And that's it. And not even all the time, because Lava Hound has different variants, of course. I'm not mad. I'd rather not see Evil Barbs be meta. But I'm saying the balance needs to be maintained. I keep on saying that, like there is balance now and it needs to be continued, but there is a balance now. Evil Valkyrie, ever since Evil Witch came out, has been pretty good. Last time I threw it in B tier because it had some potential with Evil Witch. I didn't know how good it would be. I see Evil Valkyrie a lot now. We're throwing it in A tier. Good evolution, good stats. It's just a solid evolution so far. It hasn't received any balance changes, and that's why Evil Valkyrie is still a solid evolution. They still think it's a balanced card. You should use Evil Valkyrie because it counters that stupid Evil Witch. Evil Cage was in C tier last time I recall. Now listen, I could throw Evil Cage in crap Evo, and I will, because I only gave respect to the Evil Cage because it was used in just like the tiniest bit of Lava Hound decks, tiniest bit of recruits decks. But even then, like with different cards being meta, it's difficult for the Evil Cage to survive. Realistically, nothing has changed like meta wise for the Evil Cage. The only reason I'm knocking it down a whole tier is because I don't like it. It's not inherently annoying, it's just bad. We'll keep it in like crap Evo C tier range. Just keep that in mind. Evil Bats have been knocked down a little bit, and the meta of course has shifted. I assure you that with the Inferno Dragon evolution, however, the Evil Bats might see some more usage because they will swarm around the Inferno Dragon. So I'll probably just keep it in the same spot it was last time, middle, lower A tier, something around that. They can be really annoying to deal with, especially if you don't have the correct counter. They are powerful when they have the healing, but when they're not healed, they could just be zapped, or Ice Spear will take care of them with the tower. It's crazy. They're situational, but they're really good when they're in a good spot. I will maintain the fact that Dark Goblin evolution isn't good. I'm throwing it in C tier again. The Dark Goblin evolution got nerfed one time when it first came out, and then nothing has happened to the Dark Goblin evolution, and it's still in this position. To be fair, the poison damage can be pretty good against like maybe the Evil Witch. Maybe we'll throw it up just like a couple more evolutions, but it's fine. And it's only really used in log bait, and not even that. Some log bait decks just do not use Evil Dark Goblin in general, and I'm glad for that. Dark Goblin was pretty annoying sometimes. Evil Musketeer is a good evolution concept. I think we can all probably agree on that. It's probably one of the more balanced evolutions, and we're okay with that. Evil Musketeer can shine in a couple different situations. I'll probably throw it in the lower B tier. This is probably the balanced section, A and B tier. I say that, and then PEKKA and Goblin Giant are in B tier, and Evil Lumberjacks in B tier, and Mega Knights in B tier. Yeah, the 3 shots from the back. What? The 3 snipe shots from the back can take out some like mid-range units. Other than that, not the greatest evolution. It's just a normal Musketeer once you get rid of those 3 shots. And finally, wait, where's the stupid battle ram? We forgot about the battle ram. Let's go to the Supercell fan kit. All right, we got it. Evil Hunter is gonna go in A tier. Probably high A tier. Now the RG's been propped up by this guy. Evil Hunter is a really good supporting card. It's really annoying against that stupid PEKKA Goblin Giant BS. You don't love to see Evil Hunter being meta, and that's fine. It kind of had a little bit of a dip in the months after it coming out, but then it came right back up. RG and Hunter, they pair up so well with the Fisherman. And if you have Hunter Evolution, you're only really going to use it with RG and a couple other decks. That's really all it should be. I would say Evil Hunter probably needs a nerf along with the S tier evolutions. Logically speaking, it shouldn't freeze units. It's just too broken. But then again, counters easily by Swarm. And the Evil Battle Ram, which we of course forgot because it's so useless. I'm joking, it's going in B tier. High B tier because Evil Battle Ram with PEKKA Bridge spam. I've seen a little bit more PEKKA Bridge spam recently with Evil PEKKA. It's been an interesting ride for Evil Battle Ram. Good, then bad, then good again, then bad again. So the cycle of every single evolution that you can find. The Evil Barbs that it spawns, they don't really do that much in comparison to a regular Barbarian. The pushback is annoying sometimes, and that's why it's not in C tier or whatever. And that's it. This is the final tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And please make sure we subscribe. We're trying to hit 10K subscribers soon, so it'd be definitely much appreciated if you help me there. Follow my Twitter. I mean, we're like close to 2,000 followers again, so that's fine. I'll see you all in a bit.